Shalom. Call hello Yahweh Bashem Awashai Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. This will be on the Critical Race History channel, historical facts. It's just going to be a short video. It's early in the morning. I just did the first part of my workout, had breakfast. Then I'm going to then I was going to wait a couple hours, do my second workout, and head out, to go to work. But, and usually that's the time that I do my videos in that downtown in between. If I'm not outside, if I'm not, at that park that's near the dojo. But I put on the old movie, The Outlaw Josie Wells, with Clint Eastwood. And this movie was made in 1976. And I'm going to call this portion of the movie The Plight of Little Moonlight. Little Moonlight was a Gadite woman. She was of Navajo descent, from the Navajo tribe. She had been captured by the Cheyenne and raped, and then sold to or taken by the Edomites, who were actually about to gang rape her when when the character of Josie Wells killed the guys who were about to do that. But looking at her plight and then watching what she was going through, and then this book right here, Bartholomew de las Casas, an account much abbreviated of the destruction of the Indies. It was narrated by Franklin W. Knight and Andrew Hurley. I'll see if I can put it in the frame. It's kind of dark, but in here, but there it is. But when I saw it, I thought this is that sort of what they refer to as critical race theory, right? Like it's theory, like as if it didn't happen, or it's a theory is a guess or something proposed. We're talking about facts. And so when they're coming into town, this proud devil approaches the character of Clint Eastwood with the two Gadites, all right, one older male from a different tribe, and then this Navajo woman, and he approaches them and says, "Want to buy some Indian scalps?" Mind you, the word Indian means savage. All right, you have to understand that these Edomites then and now respect no one else's humanity but their own. To act like anyone else's lives matter, the whole Black Lives Matter thing and all that kind of mess. First of all, black is an insult. It's a social construct, just as Indian is. Indian was a social construct because they didn't want to say who they really were. And even though there are hundreds of books that are written and authors have written about the fact that these so-called natives of the Americas had in their possession Hebrew relics from Israel and from different parts of the world, and that they were speaking Hebrew. Mind you, don't forget that Cristobal Colon, aka Christopher Columbus, came to the Americas with 5 Hebrew interpreters. He was not looking for India. That was the collective lie agreed upon. All right? What is it saying? To the victors go the spoils, and the victors also get to rewrite and write history. But I'm going to read from page 39 from the said book. Just a couple paragraphs and see if I can put this image in frame of this pit with the spikes put in the bottom of it with sticks. They sharpen sticks and put them in the bottom pointed straight up. All right. And they were filled, they were pretty deep. And what they would do is they would throw the natives of the islands in South America into the Indians. They would throw the savages, the copper colored, because look, you ever seen the color of a dark penny and put it up against the skin of a Negro? That's copper colored. And guess what? The so-called natives looked the same before all the rape and murder that lightened them up. But here we go. This is page 39, and it reads, "The Spaniards went into the villages where the poor people were working at their labors with their wives and children safe by. And there they ran them through with their spears and hacked them into pieces, and to a very great and powerful village they came, its people more careless than the others, and thinking that their innocence that they were safe. And the Spaniards entered in a space and of 2 hours almost razed them to the ground," meaning burned them to the ground, "putting children and women, old persons to the sword, and slaying as many as they could, who though fleeing did not escape." So you got to remember, there's a famous saying from Cristobal Colon, all right, or AKA Christopher Columbus, that he never put his sword down, because their goal was to exterminate, depopulate, and inherit the land, the power, and the wealth. Those that were left were to be their slaves, same way it is today. We're contractual slaves to the sons and daughters of these very same people. Just like that Marine in the video Crimes Against the Natives and the Negroes said, that his forefathers were the worst people in the history of mankind. Guess what? You are your forefathers. And yes, you're looking at one of them. These are the worst people in the history of mankind. Job 9:24 says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They covered the faces of the judges thereof." So what they did was they put their faces up as if they were the judges, as if they were the people of the Lord, as if they were the founders of every damn thing. And the truth of the matter is, what only thing that they are rape, robbers, and murderers, and stealers of heritages. They've claimed to be every heritage on the face of the earth, damn near, except who they really are, which is the Edomites. Continuing on, it says, "And when the Indians saw that even with such humility and offerings and patience and suffering, they could not break or soften such inhumane and bestial hearts, and so without appearance or color of reason, and indeed so perfectly contrary to it, they were hacked to pieces, and seeing that they were to die for no cause, and in the very twinkling of an eye, they agreed to meet and join together and die in war, taking vengeance best they could upon cruel, hellish enemies. For they knew well that being not just unarmed, but naked on foot and weak against a people so fierce on horseback and so well armed," because see, Esau Edom came over here with metal, with steel, with swords. All right, so I won't say that our people were outmanned, but they were definitely, a man in armor, this armored with steel weapons, versus people that are unarmored. It's even if you're outnumbered, you're gonna run through them pretty quickly. All right, and that's exactly what they were doing. But in the end would be destroyed, that they invented some holes in the middle of the roads, into which the horses would fall, and their inwards be pierced through sharp, fire-hardened stakes driven into the bottom of the holes, which have been covered with grass and weeds, so that they might appear to be not there. But only in time did two horses fall into them, because the Spanish learned of the guard against them. But to take vengeance for this, the Spaniards made it law that all Indians of any sex, age, might be taken alive, will be thrown into the holes. Thus pregnant and nursing women and children, and old persons, and any others that they might take, they would throw them into the holes, into the pits, which were filled, being pierced through by the stakes, which was a sore thing to see, especially the women with their children. All the others, the Spaniards slew them with spears and lances and knives, and threw them to savage dogs that tore them to pieces and ate them. So they would starve their dogs, wound these people, and just throw them to the dogs and let the dogs finish them off. How cruel is that? You couldn't even kill me first. You wound me while I can't mortally wound me, while I'm going to die anyway. I'm weak and I can't run and I can't fight back, and then you let dogs rip me to pieces. This is the so-called white man. These are the people that you look up to. All right? This is who they really are. And this is their real history, and this is why they're so wealthy. This is why they're so rich. And then they write in their history books, discovery. We came and we discovered, and now you have cities and schools and banks. No, that's not how it happened. What I'm reading to you is how it happened. This is why so many of the Northern Kingdom speak Spanish. And the same thing that, to all the sons and daughters of Jacob that were under these Edomites, whatever language that they were speaking, that's the language you speak today. From Dutch, Portuguese, Spanish, French, English, but they're all the same people. They're all Edomites. It says, and when the Spaniards came upon some lord, upon my honor, they would burn him in a raging fire. They went about these inhumane slaughters for near unto 7 years, from 1524 to 1530 or 1531. Judge yourself then how great was the number of the people that had been consumed. So they killed millions of the Israelites, man. Millions. Okay? But that recompense is going to be returned upon their head. Let me grab a quick scripture and close this out. Didn't mean to do that. Let's turn that off. A lot of things open. I got to close up. There we go. The Lord is going to come and take vengeance upon Esau, Edom. And then he's going to allow the Israelites, the elect of Israel, to get their swords wet as well. All right? Because the Lord is going to return to a world which is run and controlled by so-called white people, who are the biblical Edomites. Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Edom? This is Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, is I that speak righteously, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine vat? So the question is being asked is, why is all his apparel red and stained red with blood, like someone who treadeth the wine vat, someone who's stomping the innards out of grapes? All right? So Yahushua is coming to because you see those scalps hanging from his hands? What do you think those people are that those scalps belong to? Okay? Scalp is going to come back. And the funny thing is that Gad was better at it than Esau. Esau started that shit, so that you know. You know, Esau is the one that started that. Gad was just better at it. And the scripture clearly says that Gad is going to rise up in the end. That's in Genesis 49th chapter. But it says, verse 3, I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there were none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So the heart meaning mind, la'ab. All right. So what's on the Lord's mind, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ? Vengeance. And he's going to stain his raiments, and he's going to stomp the guts out of millions of Edomites. All right. So-called white people. These are the last moments of the last days. Enjoy what time you have left. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Abashai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Wa Abba Kwam Yasharallah.